Still had rebellion in common.
No. The only thing we shared was wounds. Being angels, they'd served the most terrible mutilations. They were remade. You call them monsters. Lump scars, livid flaps of meat on them, half healed and pulsing. New mouths in their backs, toothed and scabs, leaking bile. But I loved them.
Is that all?
It is.
Advocate, do you wish...
We're live. You guys hear that music, you know what time it is. Dead Air Radio. Dead Air Radio! Dead Air Radio is back for another week.
Whoop, whoop.
They tried to take us off the air, but we said we're not going.
Although they did cut an hour of ours.
Who tried that? Dan Internet?
Dan Internet tried to shut us down. I showed him what's who.
Damn the man. Tonight we're joined by a very, very special guest. He's been someone I've known my whole life. He's been an inspiration to me and everyone else who matters. Marc Bourgeois, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Marc Bourgeois.
That was a very nice
Well, I would have no less for a man of your stature. So, gentlemen, Marc Bourgeois is here. What is your fondest memory of Marc Bourgeois? We'll start with you, Ben, since he's your brother.
Fondest memory, I don't know. I mean, it has to be, back in the day playing video games, just watching him play like fighting games, and I knew that if he lost, he was gonna take it out on me. So when I'd be watching him play a game, I would just wait. And if things were going good, I'd stay. And if he was losing a match, I'd get ready to get up. Because if he lost, I would get up and get out of the room because I was next.
Yeah.
He would take it out on me. Or I literally saw him pound the Genesis once in a game, shot straight up in the air.
bring that one up.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't know him on that level. But I heard the stories. They're hilarious.
Well, he was terrifying.
I'm happy to say that I've put my video game passions behind me now, and it's now just a thing of the past.
You're focusing more on yourself.
Why would you be happy to say that video games are awesome?
Well, it brought out the rage in me, and it's just that's not something in myself that I want to revisit.
It's a dark. With all things that you're passionate about, it tends to bring out a dark side. It can, at least.
Especially when it's taken out on others,
Innocent bystanders.
As hilarious as it may be, it's just in the end, no one wins.
It's destructive behavior, and video games tend to bring that out in some of us, like Adam Barnt here. He's one of the most destructive video game players I know. He has a horrible habitual video game habit.
I have been known to spike a controller from time to time.
Some people just the passion.
Wait, so how do you put booze in a controller?
Very carefully.
I know how you put soda in a controller. So I've had to deal with that once or twice.
Bougie, do you dump soda on your controllers?
No, I don't. No, not at all.
I don't believe you.
We've also witnessed a popsicle stick in the CD drive of Sega CD?
Of a like $500 Sega CD.
No, my favorite thing ever was like how Nintendo 64 controllers would have like 7-course meals in them. People would like eat like a whole bag of Doritos while playing, and then just like the stick gets filled
The
with
stick,
crap,
yeah.
and
The
the
stick
buttons
was a
like just start to
magnet.
stick.
That was disgusting. You know, it was more disgusting than anything though is when you would go through them with a toothpick and have a
Yeah.
pile of
Yeah.
whatever that ungodly thing
cracks.
was. Oh
yeah.
my god!
It's that's all sweat and dirt from your hands. It's disgusting when you think about it. Anyone at home who has a video game controller that they haven't run a toothpick through, like the cracks, the seams, do it. You'll probably vomit in your pants.
Anyone who's out there with a controller, don't do that. It's totally disgusting.
See, I go with the rubbing alcohol on the controller. You give it
Well-
once over every so often, keeps it clean,
Clean
keeps
record.
it fresh.
Anyone at home with a video controller in your hand, set it down.
Go outside.
Focus on yourself.
For
The
God's
germs
sakes.
involved have to be
Look at you, you're
Oh, I
disgusting.
know.
unmentionable.
I know.
What do you think the best video game controller ever was? Going through the different
Ooh,
systems.
that Xbox controller, the Xbox
Yeah, I was
360
gonna say
controller.
360's got to
It's-
take it.
it's perfect.
Now, prior to that, I have to go with N64, and prior to that,
N64.
SNES.
No, I would say an
thinking-
often overlooked controller is the GameCube controller. It's
Here's some
phenomenal.
good
No,
controller.
that sucks.
The
that
only
controller
thing,
sucks.
the only thing wrong with it is that it only has one analog stick. Other than that, it's so great.
It's big and boxy. I
If I
don't
may.
like it.
Dreamcast,
big, it's-
great controller. Sega Genesis, 6-button.
6-button Sega is mine.
That is a good controller.
What I thought, because it brought so much more to the system. I mean, I guess you
Yeah.
have to look at it from a system-by-system basis.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Well,
and plus the fact that it wasn't the original. You know, I mean, like all these controllers we're talking about, this came out with the system. Like the Sega
Right.
6-button, it was brought out halfway through. Like half of Sega's shit. You know, what I mean, they
Right.
just kept adding on and adding on and adding on instead of just coming out with something newer.
and then they got screwed because they were always the first people to do the thing they did, and everyone else
much.
copied it.
Yeah, why did they do that? They seem to shoot themselves in the foot like every time.
I know. Well, I mean, I think initially it like helped them initially, but then like they just got overrun with the competition. You know, I don't know.
I personally think that it's brilliant that they had the whole add-on system in place.
Yeah, like the 32X.
For a kid.
Yeah.
Oh my God! It's like
Oh, yeah.
get a new part to put on your video game system. That's crazy.
Well, that's the thing. It was back then. I mean, that's what the demographic was for video games. It was you know like younger kids, and then obviously that grew. You know that the whole industry grew up like with us essentially. Hi.
I gotta turn that on.
Oh, the outside thing. Yeah, I mean the whole industry kind of you know. Well, think about it. We got we're live, honey.
Yeah, I love people who ask questions to us from the street.
I'm gonna start referring to like,
We're live, toots.
yeah, to women
I
I
get
don't
your
know
name?
as like sweetie or like honey or like. Oh man, threw me off course now.
Video games.
No, I
Controllers.
think we should talk about the worst controllers.
All right.
The Shark Pad. I'm gonna have to go with.
Yeah, I mean, for that, you have to go into like the third-party
Yeah.
peripherals.
Yeah, anything
That's
Mad
what we're talking
Cats.
about. Yeah, the Mad Cats, the Shark Pad.
Game Genie, like Game Shark,
Yeah.
whatever.
Mad Cats for sure definitely ruined my life a few times.
Yeah.
All just like the turbo buttons that would just
Yeah.
like
That would-
or like slow motion that would just hit
That would
pause.
not only not make the game better for you, but would probably screw up the system. In some
Oh,
ways.
totally.
And you always would go over to a friend's house who would have those control, and it's like, come
Yeah.
on, man,
It was
chip in the extra
embarrassing.
$10.
Well, they would have one normal controller, then one like third party, and then you always had to use the third
Yeah.
party one because
It had like a spiral cable and like some sort of like see-through needle.
Yeah.
yeah, it was always see through.
It was always see
Do you, well, Lomenzo, I know you might remember this. The alternative to the turbo button on those was the Rumble WWF player. You would hold that.
Wait, what?
Do you remember that? It was like
I don't
it was
know.
those. It was maybe like 8-inch WWF figures that you would hold their back and they would buzz. They would like go like, and our cousin came up with the idea that if you buzz that on the controller, it would tap the button so rapidly.
yeah.
And that was our turbo button.
That's how we beat Metal Gear Solid, yeah.
For Metal Gear Solid, the part where you have to like when you're in the electric chair and you have to like tap X to live.
I never had a problem with that. I don't know what it was.
Oh,
but,
so
like,
hard.
Well, you-
I just burned right through that.
Well,
Like,
that's
it was
a bourgeois like characteristics. You guys can tap buttons faster than
Yeah, the
anyone I've ever
Mega
known.
Yeah.
But we used like an electric drill with like a Phillips head
screw bit,
screwdriver
yeah.
attachment. We just like held it down on the button, and it was like.
Well, you can only do it like 5 times before your controller button just like wore out. It started like it's like spewing chunks of the button.
Yeah. Well, it
That
didn't-
was such a feat of engineering to get through that part.
I mean, there's no way I could have done that on my own.
We would have had to stop playing, I think.
Or you have to like you don't get the best ending if you.
Oh
do it that
yeah,
way.
but no way. Come on.
You remember how most of the slow motion buttons on those controllers was just the controller repeatedly pushing.
it
the
would just pause.
button?
Yeah, like
And
every.
so if you had like a game that when you push the pause button it would bring up like an inventory screen, it would just bring up the inventory screen over and
Yeah.
over and over again, and you couldn't do anything.
so obnoxious. Oh man. The yesteryear of what is that?
It appears to
Spider?
be like a scarab frozen in amber.
Is that what
Lawrence,
we're
are you
doing?
ready for that challenge, by the way?
Oh yeah. Speaking of video games, we set a challenge a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, when are we going to do that?
For those of you, if you're just joining us, if this is your first episode, which I'm sure 0 people are watching this,
Yeah,
but
so we have 100% new involvement in this program.
about 2 weeks ago, I believe there was a challenge between Benjamin and Adam over here to who could beat Super Mario World first, right?
100%. Perfect finish.
100%.
Yeah.
100% 96
Right, 96 star. Yeah.
That's. I mean, Ben's claiming 3 hours, and I just don't know.
He's claiming under 3 hours.
I think that 3 hours is the tipping point for that. I haven't timed it ever, obviously, but I think that I can do it in or very near 3 hours.
Well, what if it's not 100%? What if it's just whoever can beat it first?
No, oh please.
Yeah,
beat
under
it
an
first. Oh my
hour.
God.
Well,
under an hour.
that would be the
So
real
quick.
test then, I think.
No way.
no, but yeah,
Because
you got
to show how well you know the game is to totally beat it.
Because anybody can just use the cape, fly through the levels, and burn through Star World and get to the end.
Yeah.
Okay, but who can do that best or fastest?
Well, whatever. That's
Well,
that's
a
just
that's
ridiculous.
a way less fun competition.
That's like not even. That's maybe like 15 minutes tops, if you ask me. You have to get through, you have to get through the first area, and as soon as you get to the first level of the second area, you can get right to.
Yeah.
You can get right to a Star World and burn it. Maybe not 15 minutes. Maybe more like 25 minutes. I think.
Well,
I think you're doing 25 minutes.
I'm the worst Mario player ever, so I guess I have a different perspective on this. I'm amongst gods
I
among
don't
men
see.
here.
I don't see 3 hours though. I just don't see it happening.
I think it's totally possible.
You agree with me, Mark, that it's
Yeah, I mean, you're not factoring in how many times you die in those levels.
and how
I don't die.
my issue also was how much time you're spent in
serious.
overworlds, and how much time you're spent
I believe-
watching text on the screen.
Yeah, definitely. Like, yeah, whenever you beat a castle, you have to sit there wait for
Yeah.
that. You have to wait for the terrain to.
Well, what is that? 30 seconds times 7?
No, it's more
some
like
castles,
times 30. There's ghost houses, there's fortresses, there's castles.
Yeah, but I'm talking
there's
about the
switch
text
boxes,
after. Only
there's-
after the castles are
time-
the long text.
Every time you beat a level, the screen goes black and it plays that song. And you have to wait for that. That's a good 10 seconds for every level.
Yeah, but you're,
quite a bit.
You're talking about, you know,
This should just be the Super Mario World argue hour.
you know what? I mean,
It is what it is, right?
we'll be able to figure this out by just doing it. When are we gonna do it?
Yeah, I think we need to set something in stone, you guys.
Well, maybe a good starting point would be going on YouTube and like looking up some sort of like guy in like
I
hate
googled
that.
it. I
No.
googled it. The only
Mario speed.
there's only like modded speedruns online. There's no like there's no documentation
what are
of
the mods?
legitimate. Well, you know, I don't know,
Like
not
20 minutes?
Save
not
states.
mods, but
Crazy?
the ones where you see it and it's sped up a little and
Yeah.
they give you like 2 minutes and shit.
Like the Mega Man remix.
Yeah.
That's the shit.
I still listen to that.
Oh, dude, it's such a treat because I'll go for like months without listening to it, and then it just like rocks my socks.
What's your favorite track on that one?
I've never heard it. Can we bring it up?
I hope you can. The metal mix. It's hard to find.
Mega Man 2 remix or something?
Guitar remix, I think is. What
Yeah,
it's
something like that.
There's 2 parts.
There's a lot of good ones.
I think Airman is awesome. Airman's always awesome.
Yeah, I think it's
Mega Man 2 guitar
The
remix.
first
this
special
first one-
level
this
is
one right here.
badass. I love that one.
Yeah, this is a great. We should take a break on this song actually.
Yeah, let's do that.
How long is it though?
6 minutes.
Well, we can listen to some of it. You can skip. I would say skip the beginning a little bit because
Yeah, it's kind of boring out the gate.
yes, go a little bit further. Go a little bit further. Like after the title screen. This is like the exact music. We can go a little bit further if you don't don't mind me touching your controls here.
Well, if you
There
don't
we go.
mind getting your fingers sticky.
Here's this is Airman, I believe.
Yeah, this one's badass.
How did he make that jump?
Dude, this.
This is so modern.
Yeah, the guy, whoever's playing this is, yeah, it's clearly like an emulator, like save state and shit, but he just kills it. He plays, like, it's ridiculous.
The hockey here.
It's so face melting.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Or no, I think it's right here. Yeah.
This is
That's pretty righteous.
this is an example of a speed run and a half, but it's like it's totally not legit.
You know what's insane to me? My brother-in-law did the Braid speed
This
run.
one's good.
Yeah, that's the only challenge I didn't get because what the fuck? It's impossible.
It's so fast. Like 3 minutes. What is it? 13 minutes? Something
I don't
like that?
remember. You have to.
It's so fast.
It's a decent amount of time.
You have to do it flawlessly.
Wait, I love this part right here. Hold on. Oh wait, after this measure. Oh, what the hell? After this part. Here we go. It's so
I kind of don't like the drum beat on this one.
it's interesting.
I don't even pay attention to them, you know.
Yeah.
You're talking to a horrible drummer that likes to think he's a good drummer, but he's not.
You know what's cool though about like people who kind of pick up on people pick up on different instruments. You know, like they listen closely to other. You know, a lot of people listen to guitars. A lot of people listen to like drums. No one really listens to the bass track that much. So at least I don't.
No,
know.
I think
They're a
only
bass
bass players
for sure,
do.
dude.
Yeah.
When I was really into Iron Maiden, I listened to bass tracks.
Well, yeah,
You
they're in
originally were a bass player.
Depends on the genre too. Like
Yeah.
I like listening to like reggae and ska, ska
Oh
especially.
yeah.
That, like with rock, bass is like a big part of
Yeah.
or like reggae.
Yeah, with reggae, the bass is like kind of the lead almost, and the guitar is like the rhythm.
I mean, think about like Sublime. I mean, the bass
Yeah.
plays a very significant role in Sublime.
It just like warps. Doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense.
Right. That should have killed it.
This song is one of the weaker ones, I think. This one too. We can skip this one.
Crash Man is the turkey of the big band.
Who you calling turkey?
Turkey.
Alright. Sounds good, dude.
Yeah, this one's good.
There's like monkeys jumping up.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like it's one.
Yeah, I'm hearing everything too.
Everything is just on one speaker.
I think it might be. I don't know. It might be stereo though, because some things. Harmonized. Yeah, some. That always pisses me off with like I've gone through many a pair of shitty headphones. Oh, this one. I fucking love this song. All right, we'll end it on this song 'cause I love it. Silence, everyone.
Why don't you should pull a freestyle to it.
You can't freestyle to this.
Try it.
I just think it's awesome that someone took the time to like just remaster all these songs with like a guitar and drums.
If I was at all musically inclined, I would be down for it.
The
Like
Fartcast.
I would love to like cover songs like this. I grew up like anything from Mega Man, like any Castlevania, any of that
Yeah.
stuff. I would love to be able to
Well-
cover. I'm just not musically inclined.
Just like any kind of 8-bit music is just so awesome. And I feel that's actually a genre that's like kind of like becoming a thing
It is
now.
coming back.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever heard the Ocarina of Rhyme?
No.
What do you got there? What's that first or the second most visited page? Busted. I see another one too, buddy.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Your Google Chrome, or that's Firefox. Your Firefox history is tainted, my friend.
well, I don't remember the last time I only really used this for this show, which shows what I'm doing while you guys
Yeah,
are
what are
talking.
you doing?
I saw some unmentionables.
That's a dog.
We'll leave it there.
No, the Ocarina of Rhyme. It's phenomenal.
Oh yeah, is it
They,
it's like a mashup?
Yeah, well, it's like they take the soundtrack from the Ocarina of Time and they like mash up like Snoop and Dre songs
Yeah.
over it. It's awesome.
I heard a really awesome rap. It was
In my home, sweet home,
you know the Chrono Trigger Overworld song for like the medieval times, like
Yeah.
din, 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 din. There's a rap to that. It was really sweet.
Is it skipping sounding for you guys?
Yeah, our internet connection is not the strongest here.
I couldn't tell if it was the headphones or the internet. I'm just gonna try to find
think
one of
it's
the
the
good ones.
The
This is the best one, I think.
It's still Dre Day, nigga. AK, nigga. Though I roam a lot, can't keep it home a lot. This when I frequent the spot that I'm known to rock. You hear the bass from the truck when I'm on the block. They pay homage, but haters say Dre fell off. Pow,
It fits
nigga,
so
my
perfect.
last album was The Chronic. They wanna.
Man, this just like this is kind of off topic, but still kind of relates. I was at a flea market like last weekend, just like tons of shit, right? It's just people, all their shit that they have, they're just trying to sell it. I was just thinking how many things have been made? People like make things all the time. I've made nothing. I have nothing to show for my existence.
Hey, we make this.
We
When
make
I was-
this, but it's not like a
something
tangible
tangible,
object.
Yeah. When I was super little, I made floss bracelets, but that's the only thing I think
remember
I
that.
ever made.
Yeah, but like, I mean,
And I made out like
I made a
bandit,
little
by the
Blanca
way.
paper craft.
you do make
Street
out like a
Fighter toy.
bandit.
Wow.
Oh yeah, but I mean like something that's like made of something and you can sell it. Like, you know, just like I was just amazed at how much shit there is like in the world.
Yeah,
And
but
that's
you're
just-
talking archaically. I mean, we live in
Yeah,
the age
what's-
of the internet where it
Oh, yeah.
doesn't have
I
to
make
be a
internet
tangible
things.
physical object for you
Right.
to be able to sell it.
See, what I always want to do is take like some of the pictures that I take and actually get them printed and matted and framed, and then try to
Yeah, I
sell
think
those.
that would be cool.
Set up a
Do that
little
real
thing
quick.
at like a little art crawl or something.
Well, it's just like I'm just thinking like I saw like there was literally like probably like over like 1 million things for sale there. Slight exaggeration. You know what this is from? I don't know what song. You know what it's
Gemini Man.
do you know what it's made in?
Maybe.
Mario.
Mario.
Yeah, there we
Paint.
Nice.
We should play a game.
I got 2 out of 3. That's pretty good. I
That
should
is good.
have
That is
something.
We should test them to see who can get like we'll pick a video game song and see if they can guess it.
I think it's a wonderful idea.
All right, is it like a buzz-in game? What are we doing here?
I don't know. Just shout it
Why don't
out.
we just start with one person and you play a song, and if that person can't get it, then it goes to the next.
Well, go back.
Yeah,
to
but how many
I
are
don't
they
know, what
going
would
to
you
be
like,
willing
video game
to
music?
do here?
8-bit or Nintendo music or
Let's do like 3
something?
of them.
Whoa, this is gonna be very obscure. All right, this was pretty.
We started off with a tough
So
one.
wait, are we switching off or what?
Just shout it out. It's a.
All right, we'll do 30 seconds each song.
This
Yeah, this one's too hard.
Yeah, I don't stand by this song at all.
I'd say like something like Rad Racers.
There it was.
No, but you're very warm.
Viper, Project Viper.
Road Rash 2.
Oh man! Now that you say that, I recognize it now. Yeah.
Dude, I was close.
I know
I
that
was really close.
That kind of blew me away.
Sweet Home California.
Road Rash 3D. I think they say the title of the song in this.
Yeah, that was totally
I
a
think
Sega
you're right.
Genesis
Hang
song.
on. What I was
Whatever.
gonna. Fuck, I
we
forgot it.
cancel it if they say the title, obviously. But we could get it before the title.
No one got that yet.
No, this next one.
Oof. Okay. Good luck.
See, I'm scared because Andrew knows most of the games I've played.
Yeah.
I feel
I'm
like.
just thinking of games.
I think they
that
say the
played when I
title
was
of
a
this
kid.
too.
Well, let's see.
I think they do. All right, 30 seconds after the song starts, which
Might be
Hasn't
for what.
started
This is the whole. They have the whole like intro screen here. This is stupid.
it totally
Sounds wrestling ass.
I don't think they heard it.
like a BMX game? I don't know.
You're close
Yeah.
thematically on all these.
Yeah, it was 1080 snowboarding.
Oh,
Okay.
I mean, I know my genre by music, I guess.
Yeah, you were.
That all sound like it would be like that.
All right, we're bringing it back into the realm
I
of
said WWF.
possibility
Yeah,
here.
you guys should know. This one, I
So this is
think.
gonna be a buzz-in one, huh?
Just shout it out.
Well, I'm saying, yeah.
Oh, now we have an ad. Hold on.
Oh, wait, we can skip the ad in 5.
Let's mute it though for copyright's sake.
Booyakasha! Yo, wanna see something
Michelangelo.
really cool? Then whatever you do,
Man,
don't click.
I hate YouTube ads more than anything
yeah,
else.
it's like so offensive.
Ren and Stimpy? Oh my god, that sound.
Chuck Rock.
Wow. No.
Hey, hang on now.
That's very familiar.
This is a great song.
Is this like, God, is this like,
You have 7 seconds.
what's Odyssey? Albert's Odyssey or whatever? Not that.
2
What the hell
seconds.
is that? I have no idea.
Crash Bandicoot.
Oh, I played all of those
You know
and
what?
beat them. I like those.
That makes me want to go to Foundation.
Yeah,
To
kind
drown
of.
your sorrows.
They just got something stolen from them, didn't they?
They did?
Yeah, if you're friends with them on Facebook, they always post different things. And the other day they posted that some ruthless asshole stole a model ship from that back the back booth that we always sit at that has all that bric-a-brac all over the place.
Come on.
They took a ship out of there.
Who would do that?
I don't know.
Some roughneck.
No, they very politely asked that whoever took it could bring it back, and no questions would be asked. They just take it back.
All right, this will be.
Yeah, but who could ever believe that?
Oh yeah, you know they have pirates there.
Right.
That's an easy one. That soundtrack, you can't fuck with that soundtrack.
Oh,
It's moving.
God,
Yeah.
that's
It
that's
does,
one of
it's
the
like
reasons.
they paint with
The
notes.
gameplay in
in
that game is phenomenal, but the music makes that game. I feel
Yep.
like.
It's moving.
And the way the music kind of interacts with the scrolling background,
Oh,
it just
definitely.
you get lost in it.
The music kind of makes
flaw
me
with
go
the
like.
game, though? The flaw with the game, too short.
Yeah, but how long can you make a game like that? Like it's so perfect. Every level is so perfect in that game.
Come out with an expansion for it. Come out with like a part 2 of it or something.
No, but I'm saying that the power-ups and stuff, I feel like they kind of tapped the limits of the power-ups. Am I
Oh,
wrong? I
well,
don't
like
know.
every like different room.
Yeah, not
had its
power-up,
own,
but
like,
his different
like
ability.
theme or like.
I
yeah.
feel like they kind of tapped that.
I think they could do another one, but I also, like we've said before, kind of like the idea of having it be a standalone
Yeah.
piece of just brilliance.
I do like finite thing, like especially when it comes to like a series of games, just like something finite. I think is best.
Because who can say anything bad about that game? I mean, it's perfect.
Yeah.
can't-
It really is perfect.
It's so good.
It's a stroke of brilliance. All right, this is the last one.
No, I like this game.
Oh, okay. All right, well, all right.
Donkey Kong Country.
Oh, that was a record.
Dude, I had it on the tip of my tongue. He just came in first.
I want to do one. All right, this is gonna be awesome.
Hey, we can watch Jay-Z performing live in Brooklyn now on YouTube. Turn us off. What are you doing?
Yeah, this is hurting my ears right now.
All right, I got a good one here.
God, we have a limp mic
All right,
right
these are my cuts now. These are the Lomenzo's deepest cuts.
Does this store sell microphone Viagra by any chance?
All right, here we go. Oh no! Okay, just forget you're hearing this. This is an intro, not.
It's an intro not?
Here we go.
I always wanted to be an intro nut when I was a kid.
Doom 64.
Doom.
God, he talked about this earlier today. That's not fair. I hate Doom.
Which Doom is this?
I think it might be the Super
Original.
Nintendo one.
93, 95 ID software.
Probably the SNES one.
Yeah, that's SNES.
Oops.
Killer Instinct.
Okay, here we go. This is another one of my deepest cuts. You know what? This might not be what I'm thinking.
anything. FF6? Not 6, aka 3?
Not Final Fantasy at all. It's kind of a tough one.
Earthbound? I don't know.
It was Contra 3.
Oh, wasn't a big player of that one.
Yeah, I didn't.
That totally sounded like
That one's
RPG.
awesome.
I'm not the Contra man either.
You don't?
Nah, I don't
Contra?
like Contra. I don't like
Dude.
it. It's too hard.
I like the first two. I never played it.
Kind of a
Contra
pain in the
3.
ass, huh?
Contra 3 is one of the best games ever made.
I just never played it. It's not that I don't like it. But maybe I don't like
Contra? You played the shit out of Contra.
it. 3?
No, not 3.
1 and
but-
2. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, 1 and 2 were awesome.
Is that right?
I believe it was.
Was it? Oh dear lord.
That was too hard.
I think.
Oh no, I got one.
I think you might have tapped this game. Ooh, this will be interesting.
It's a fun game. 'cause
End it on this one.
It spurs little talks about video games.
That's true.
I think we should just rebrand this as a video game podcast and get it over.
Oh, it totally is.
Yeah,
I mean,
we're close to that.
halfway in, and there's no end in sight.
Anything's better than just like a turd podcast, right? Like a fart podcast.
I don't know. I like.
Well, the
all of
Fartcast is on
those.
Wednesdays. We don't want to copy them.
Oh, there's a legit Fartcast?
No. I was joking.
How could you lie to me
Not yet.
in such a way?
Bart, don't show the seams.
Maybe there's not even music for this one.
No, just jungle noises.
Yeah. Well,
Missed.
Jurassic Park for a Sega CD.
Primal Rage.
That's totally what Jurassic Park.
What a
for
turd of a
Sega
game.
is,
I love Primal
You know what?
Rage.
That was one of the biggest arcade games.
It was
of
a
my
great
childhood.
arcade
I don't
game,
understand why. The game stunk.
'Cause it
I don't really
kicked ass.
understand why. Because you could run over people.
Yeah, you
and
could
like,
snatch people and eat them.
You could eat people for health.
See, you got to keep in mind though that this was hip deep in the Sega Nintendo whole thing where Sega could show blood
Well,
and Nintendo could.
Right.
Forget
So-
that. This was an arcade masterpiece. Like when you went to Aladdin's castle, that was what you saw. Was people lined out the door
Yeah.
just watching Primal Rage.
No,
The
you
game
saw
was
him
phenomenal.
Watching Mortal Kombat 2.
It was Street Fighter,
No,
Mortal
no.
Kombat, and then there was Virtua Fighter, and then there was like Primal Rage was like the runoff of like.
I don't know. That's the one that I remember most for whatever
Same here
reason.
at
Yeah.
Fun World. They had it, and I would spend a good chunk of my quarters there.
It's just Fun World didn't really have too many other good games.
Oh,
Well,
you wanna-
it wasn't
you
like
wanna
an
bring
up-
arcade
Killer Instinct.
kind of place.
You want to bring up the
Yeah.
Fun World
there was.
of yore?
That's probably what ran them out of business.
I
No.
remember a zombie gun game that was phenomenal because you could lift the top off and just take the tokens.
Dude, my favorite game.
That was so funny.
It was such a blessing to be able to play as much as I wanted this game. You know the gun game with the whole put your gun back in the holster.
It was like
that game.
one of those like live action.
Man,
like,
I loved that game so much, and it was stupid, but I loved that game.
Yeah.
And
They
the
are
only
future,
way
trust me.
you could play that game start to finish is if you had the method that we did. To,
Dude, remember that hologram game where it was like you're that time
yeah,
traveling wild?
that was a really old
I
game.
was terrified of that game because like I would see people put their hands in it and stuff, and I was like, "What are you doing?"
You got your hand burned off?
Yeah, I was legitimately like.
You never saw another game like that.
No.
Either.
Yeah, why didn't they expand on that idea?
don't
I mean,
know.
it's a brilliant idea, especially like when it came out.
What was that
That's
game
awesome.
called?
I don't really recall what you guys are talking about.
Okay,
man.
so it was like it almost looked like a white, almost like cave,
Like dome, kinda dome.
thing.
Came,
And, and you looked, and there was
Oh.
3 like blocks in the back, and like the characters the holograms would like interact with those 3 blocks, like hide behind them or whatever.
yeah,
and-
yeah.
I vaguely remember.
And
now.
you played this like time
The
traveling
game-
like Western guy.
the
Wasn't
game
it like
was
a
really
$3 game?
Yeah, it was really expensive. The game was shitty, but it was the coolest. There's never been anything like it. It's
It was-
totally one of a kind.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know. I never played it because it did look pretty shitty, and it was hard because you
Well,
had
I
to like
never really
time.
spend
was
my
both of
money
those
on
things.
the expensive
Well,
games.
at Fun World is when I actually ended up playing that game
Yeah.
because I had so many free tokens. That's the only time I would ever think to play that game because
Yeah.
it was really expensive. It was like $1.50 to play like one tiny
Right?
level.
You could
It
play
was horse
Primal
crap.
Rage for 2 hours for the same price.
The biggest pain in the ass though was at Fun World they had a Killer Instinct arcade, which is sweet, but you couldn't play 2-player because like it was wired like that if one person was holding one direction on one joystick, you couldn't hold that direction on the other joystick. So it was like you can only do it 1 player, or else you couldn't play it at all. And what's the fun in that? Because the computer always whoops my ass.
Yeah. Well, plus, yeah, at an arcade, you want to play against people more so than the.
Yeah. That's the whole point.
All right, what's the best arcade game? Like pound for pound? No. Give like top 3.
Well, I'm biased because I just like fighting games.
Yeah. Well, go ahead.
I don't know. Time Crisis is pretty fun.
That was
I spent a lot of time on that game.
What about Silent Scope? That was really sweet.
Yeah, that was
cool. Do you
cool
remember
too.
when that came out?
You cannot replicate that. You cannot
that was
replicate
cool.
that unless you have like the exact setup. You know?
Yeah, that whole exactly. Like you can when they tried to port that to consoles, it just wasn't
It
the same.
didn't work. The
No.
game was stupid.
I remember that was
Right.
I bought that
Like
the day we got
launch.
PS2.
Yeah, I was really excited for that game, and then it was totally lackluster because, I mean, when you have a big badass sniper rifle in like a arcade, and you're the only one that can see the game. That's the coolest part is you are the only one that can actually see.
Silent Scope 2 was awesome. The second one, I mean, like there was all this in-depth like night vision shit and everything.
And like, couldn't you you could look into windows and see like women changing and shit? That was like some of the
definitely.
Easter eggs.
It was there was a lot of detail to it as well.
Yeah, it was definitely a sweet concept.
So top 3, I'm gonna go with Double Dragon 2 in the arcade game.
I never knew that was an arcade game.
Yeah, this is all at Shakey's. I remember Shakey's.
Oh, yeah.
Pizza. I played a bunch of those there. Golden Axe in the arcade.
Oh yeah.
And
remember that Ninja Gaiden arcade they had at Pizza Hut in Waukesha?
yeah.
That was
the table one, right? It was the table machine, wasn't it?
The table machine had one game in
Toki.
it. Toki.
Toki.
Yeah. That game was so much fun to me, and I've never been able to find it again.
I
That was
never
a
got a
TurboGrafx
chance to
game.
play that one.
Oh, it was so fun.
That was a
so fun.
TurboGrafx game.
Oh, you're looking at the only TurboGrafx owner in
Turbo
like
Duo.
Yeah, Turbo Duo as well.
In the Tri-County area.
I must be the only one in like where? Like who else had one of those? It
I
was
don't
such
know,
a
man.
bizarre thing to have.
The X-Men
that's
arcade.
so-
That was
that was a
sweet.
good one for
That was
sure.
awesome.
For multiplayer, that was
Yeah.
good. Almost as good as Gauntlet.
Wait, was that the double screen, the X-Men one?
No, it
Which
wasn't
one was the
double
X-Men?
screen.
Well, X-Men had a double screen one.
Yeah. Yeah,
I don't remember that.
That was an old school one though.
It's like a beat 'em up.
Pride of the X-Men type.
Yeah, that's what it was Pride.
Can you guys guess the top 3? This isn't quite what you're thinking. It's the top 3 coin-operated games. So they are arcade games, but
So
they're
it's
not
like
dual stick.
Pac-Man.
That's number 1.
Yeah, Pac-Man.
Let's see.
Galaga.
Number 2.
Number 2.
And Asteroids.
That's number
Mark, what's your
7.
guess?
Miss Pac-Man.
Donkey Kong.
Oh yeah.
Number 3, Pac-Man,
They have,
Galaga.
they
A
have
different-
Donkey Kong at Classic Slice. We should go play that.
A different list has Miss Pac-Man, Tempest, and Pac-Man.
Oh,
These
Tempest,
are
that's a good one.
yeah, and then another one also. Oh, the top 4 games for women, Miss Pac-Man, just because there's a miss in the title.
Yeah.
Way to go.
Centipede and Pengo.
Bingo.
Qbert.
That's a good one. Track and field has to be on that top 10 somewhere.
Track and field.
Getting back to the wrestler on the controller, that was an old school thing that Dwayne, our old manager of Marty's, used to tell us when he played track and field back in the early '80s, and he actually won a trophy from Konami for his performance in playing.
Wasn't that was Namco, right?
No, that was Konami. Track and field was Konami. This was back when arcades were really big, and like they'd actually have tournaments and stuff.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
actually had a way with a pencil where he would because in track and field you hit the 2 buttons to gain speed and then you hit them together, whatever, to jump. And he had
Yeah, he would put his finger.
Isn't that cheating?
I mean, whatever.
For, like, leverage?
The way he explained it was so hilarious because he's not like, I don't know. I don't want to get into it, but his whole thing was you place a pencil over your middle finger and then use your other 2 fingers beside that to tap it in either way because it was 2 buttons you had to tap simultaneously. And he said he did that with one hand and he would be pounding Mountain Dew with the other. I always found that so hilarious in the story that was his
Mountain
other
Dew.
secret was pounding Mountain Dew.
Speaking of pounding Mountain Dew, I miss Andy Locken.
Me too.
Don't you mean Vault?
Oh, yeah. Well, it's either Vault or Mountain Dew. Speaking of Mountain Dew, you're drinking a Mountain Dew. Oh, wait.
Those are
Can
clips.
snaps. Or is
I
it
thought they
can?
were clips.
I thought it was
I thought
can
that was
snaps.
Can Clings.
So we all have different names for our flagship product.
Yeah,
I
what
like
is it?
can clips because of the alliteration.
They do clip, but they also do rap.
Can Clink.
Yeah, but
Can
Clip-
Raps?
Clink?
Can Raps.
Colonel Can Clink.
Can Clink?
Yeah, Can Clink.
Can Cling.
Don't get
Cling.
arrested for drinking.
Can
Use a
Clink.
can clip.
I like can rap.
Use a Can Clink, you clunk.
Yeah.
You clunk.
That's such a Mad Magazine like.
Use a Can
Yeah.
Cling, you clump.
Clump.
Don't get caught drinking.
What would you say? What? Clump?
Clunk.
Clunk. You clump?
It's like Donkey Kong Country Last Boss, Clunk or whatever.
That was clank.
Or Cruel or.
Yeah, King K. Rool.
Now that we have Mark on the podcast, I'll ask you, do you remember when I beat Donkey Kong Country for the first time? I ran up to wake you up and brought you downstairs, and you came to a game over screen because when you beat King K. Rool, he dies, and then he comes back for like a second round, and I thought I killed him, and I was the first one to do
They
it.
give you a little bit of like credits for a second
Yeah,
before
yeah.
it comes
And
back.
I ran upstairs. Mark was sleeping. I ran up, woke him up, brought him downstairs, and I was dead, and I didn't understand why.
Remember what I said to you?
No.
I said to you, I can't believe you were fooled by that. I can't believe you.
How did you know? I was the first one to beat that game.
That doesn't matter. That's an old trick in video games.
Bullshit. Name one other game before that did that.
Well, let's not say video games, but that's in pop culture in general. The fake credits.
Name
This was-
one. Name
Keep in
one
mind, this
thing
was-
that would
this
lead
was
me to
deep-
believe that.
This was deep in the like Mel Brooks like comedy movies, you know, like
Yeah.
Robin Hood Men in Tights and Hot Shots and stuff like that. With
Right.
the fake credits and the after scenes from the credits and stuff.
There was no reason to believe that wasn't the end of the game.
But had you watched the credits, you would have seen that like.
Yeah, but I ran up. I beat him and ran
Yeah,
upstairs to get you.
that's the story is that you were
I'm not-
so
I'm not-
excited about it that you weren't thinking clearly and
It's not even not thinking clearly. He died. He was on the ground, and I ran upstairs. I
I
mean,
don't know. I think that if I had beaten a game,
I think you
I
wait
wouldn't-
till
I
you're
wouldn't have-
positive.
I wouldn't have been able to leave. I would have like been glued.
what do you mean positive? Before that game, was there any game you ever played where the boss came back?
if I beat a here's my thing always for one. If I beat a game, I always wait until the credits are done before I turn it off because I want to make sure it saves my victory.
Okay, but
So-
here's the difference.
that's
You don't
still
have
another
this. You don't
I
understand.
didn't beat a lot
this
of games
whole
when I
thing.
was a kid. I just
No,
didn't
when
get to the
you're
end.
living in a house with a bunch of people, so when you get a new game, it's like a mad race to see who can get to that
Well,
victory
but
first.
the older kids always established dominance over it.
Well, of course,
Yeah,
it definitely
the
is
video
that.
games in my house played by my rules.
The Mega Man games. Every Mega Man game had 2 skulls in the Dr. Wily stage. You got to the first skull. Oh, this is the boss. You beat it, and there was a second skull. Every Mega Man game had that.
I think that's wildly different, though.
Not really. It's the same. It's the same concept.
The bottom
Boss
line is you
after
fucked
boss.
up.
I think it's
I'm
similar
not
to.
saying that I didn't. I'm just saying, how would I have known any better?
You wouldn't.
It's similar to like
Unless you
Dr. Wily
subscribe to
having
Nintendo
3
Power.
forms.
Same. Yeah. Same.
No, it's. I think it is different though. I'm gonna agree with
But that was
Ben here.
before all of that.
No, they really fake you out in that game. You really think he's dead and
See,
he comes
now,
back out of
the
nowhere.
last time
it's
I
not
played
a
it,
form
I was
thing.
like, oh, this is ridiculous. But you know that it's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I was, because I think that we had gotten to him the night before, and nobody could beat him. He was so hard at that point. By the way, he's so easy.
Yeah, he's not
but
that hard.
when you're
He
a
has a very easy
kid,
pattern, yeah.
he's so hard. And I finally beat him like early in the morning. Woke up early to try and beat him, and I was so excited. And that's all that happened.
I miss I don't miss it that much because I could do it, but it's just not in the wheelhouse anymore. Like getting up before school to play like 20 minutes or a half hour
Oh my
of
God,
the
yeah.
game.
I used to do that all the time.
Yeah.
I remember like my mom dragging me out of my playroom, and I'm playing like something stupid
Like
like
Toy Story.
no. What I can recall
We're back. A dinosaur story.
particularly was A New Hope for Super Nintendo. I was
Oh,
playing
those games
that-
are hard.
Dude, they're
Damn near
so hard.
impossible.
Yeah.
But I could tell you the code all day.
What was the code?
Let's hear it.
Well, for Empire Strikes Back. That's the one I remembered the most. Was ABXY, ABXY, ABABYXXY, ABYX.
That's like a mantra.
Yeah, it is.
Get that tattooed.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Yeah, right.
Krishna Krishna, Hare
ABXY,
Hare, Rama Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
The craziest thing about those Star Wars games was the Return of the Jedi one.
Well, that game was
the only way that I could
pissing
ever
off.
beat it was by like doing the code where you could play as the Ewok to fight Palpatine, and then you could just
Yeah, that
cheese
was
the
so
shit
hilarious.
out of him.
You just shoot him with arrows.
Yeah.
He'd be dead
And you
so
could,
quick.
like, keep going.
Yeah, it's made the ending so lackluster that they just sent a fucking Muppet in there to kill that.
Yeah. That's how it should have been, though.
I could never get past that level in that game where you have to fly through the Death Star
Oh, man.
too. That
So,
Oh, man.
The Mode 7
Nauseating.
graphics at its finest.
yeah,
right there.
it
I
really is like
practiced
seizure
that
inducing.
so much. I couldn't do it, but I was. It's so goofy. Like when you're that age, I was such a huge Star Wars fan. I was like,
Yeah.
"What am I gonna get laughed out of school? Not in being able to beat this game? No, I'm
Dude,
supposed
no one
to be
can
the
beat those
Star
games.
Wars
The resistance is
expert."
counting on me.
But so I played it over and over and over, and I got so good at it.
Fuck
I
those games.
played it originally with the unlimited detonators, so I didn't have to deal with anything. But I got so good at beating that last part, I could beat it without getting hit, without any codes.
That was the thing about those games. That's like you would just play it so much you could get to that level. Now it's
But
different.
isn't that a brilliant thing that's really not around anymore? And I guess the games aren't conducive to this, but the debug mode that was kind of. What was that genre? That was like maybe Super Nintendo, mostly like,
like
PlayStation-y.
Genesis did it.
Genesis, yeah.
Sonic.
Oh yeah, totally Genesis.
Where you could like make 1 million coins in Sonic and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, those were the golden days of video games. Now all it is just shooting and
Now it's like just movie producers making games.
yeah, and like the army. It's like
Yeah.
Call of Duty is just
For
like
sure.
like an enlisting
It is a recruiting
agents.
device.
Yeah.
But there are, like we talked about Braid earlier, there are a few
Independent games.
true.
Yeah, man, that's the thing. Like independent games are like they're on the rise, but it's like there's no way that it, like I don't know. I guess Braid is an example of one that could be like on the level of like a mainstream game, but like I don't know. I just feel like a lot of those independent games are just garbage.
Well, everything, most of everything is garbage.
That's
I mean,
true.
most high-profile games suck.
Yeah.
You know,
I guess they're just not built for us anymore.
Well, no, because they run in the same kind of system as movies and everything. You
Right.
just make all these games at a loss, and then you have like your one flagship title that makes you all your money for the year.
Yeah. Yeah, man, it's crazy. The whole industry. It's just really hard for like an upstart to like get into it, you know.
Well, you got to do something different. You got to do it better than anybody else.
And just what you have to learn before anything to make a game. It's
Well,
like,
yeah.
It's just insane.
You need a
Like, that's the same
team,
thing
is
with
what it
movies.
comes down to. You can't
Yeah.
do that shit by yourself. Way too hard.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, obviously you could, but you wouldn't want to.
Yeah, I mean, just downloading some of these free apps, like free games on your iPhone, you know? Like,
Yeah.
They're so damn buggy. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I
you
know.
I mean,
Well, yeah, it's just like someone's little like fart project,
Yeah.
you know. They're just like, yeah,
I don't like mobile games in general. I never play games on my phone.
me neither.
It's like if I have time on my phone, I go on Twitter or I'll.
Yeah.
it's the opposite for me. Like, I don't have a home system set up at all anymore.
Oh,
Everything-
yeah.
I just play like free games on my phone now.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's different for everyone, but yeah, I don't, for some reason, like, mobile games just don't do it for me.
Yeah, me
I
neither.
like, just like the social shit, like Instagram. I hate Twitter. I do. I've said it before, I'll say it again.
Love Twitter.
Just can't,
Dude, it's the best when you're taking a shit. It's the best thing ever for shitting.
no way, looking at mobile porn's the best.
Well, that's okay too. But
That's gotta be like a phone killer right there.
the mobile prawn.
Yeah, I think so. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I've yet to see a phone that's like been spywared to death, you know?
It's true.
It's on the rise
Yeah.
on Android, they say. The internets say.
I'm noticing that my phone is getting slower and slower every day.
That's why I don't like
Freezing
Android
up.
phones. It's a pretty unstable OS if you ask me. It eventually just kind of goes to shit.
Well, yeah, it gets, but like I think you can kind of like clean up the cache and stuff in there.
You can, but
Just instantly.
You need to clean up 1 million different things for marginal gains, and it still doesn't really fix like the force quits and the freezes and
Yeah.
and the things like that. I mean, it's okay for what it is, and it's way cheaper, and customizable, but with all that, you get a lot less stability, I think, in my experience.
Well, sooner or later, we're just all gonna have this in our brains,
Yeah, man.
like those Google goggles or Google
goggles
glasses.
with-
Google glasses.
Google
Pronounced
Glass, they
Google
call it.
Gagas.
It's
Google
pronounced
Glass.
Lady Gaga.
Have you? Those things look so dumb. Have you seen like the glasses, like the frames that
Yeah,
they're
they're
selling?
pretty-
I haven't seen the glasses, but the
They're
video
dumb.
is pretty
It's not actually
good.
there's not actually like glass on them. It projects it like onto your eye.
Well, but like they have like
Wait,
frames
what?
though.
Really?
There's no frames.
You're kidding?
There
No.
are frames.
Are you sure?
I
Not in
saw.
the, not in the latest
I feel like
ones.
that would be so horrible for your eyes to just have it projected onto your eyes.
The ones that I saw, they were like frames and they look really dumb. Yeah.
Yeah, they're frames, but there's no glass in them.
Oh. Well, I think the guy had glasses on, like over them or under them.
Yeah, you can. Well, you know, they're not quite there yet.
Yeah, I don't know. I love how they're trying to like make it all sexy.
I know they put them on models and shit.
Yeah.
Oh, here's what it is. There's a little tiny screen. See that? It's about
Yeah.
it's about the size of I don't know, like those. I don't know what's the size of that. That's not a very
It's
common
small.
size. Yeah, it's a little tiny screen that's just about the size of your iris.
But it looks it looks like a Star Trek dude kind of thing. Yeah, only just like for the top, like over your eyebrows, and then there's like these little like things that go on your nose.
Dude,
and
they're
a
gonna
tiny screen.
they're gonna make them cool by the time they come out, man. They're gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody should buy the first run of these, but by the second or third, everybody should have them. Like,
Oh,
I'm
I think
excited
everybody
about a
will,
product
too.
like this. I
much-
really am.
Ever since there's a comic I read called Transmetropolitan, and he has glasses that take pictures as part of his, like, he's a journalist in the year like 30,000, and that's part of his get up, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. And then a year after I read those comics, here Google
Real
comes
life.
out and says like, hey, we're making that, and I was like,
But just
1,000
think
years
about
early.
this. All throughout your childhood, there were, at least for me, there were two things that were like technologically, well, there is a million things, but two things that were within grasp, maybe seemingly, and that was a watch that was like a badass watch that did like a bunch of stuff.
Like the James Bond laser watch.
Yeah, yeah. And the other one was the like reader glasses. And both
Yeah.
of those exist now.
Yeah.
And the
crazy.
holograms too were the Star Wars thing.
You guys remember those AT&T commercials in the early '90s that like the tagline was "You will"? And they showed all this, like, futuristic stuff.
Oh, then they have like voice recognition for like.
They
your
were
doors
really
and
on
stuff.
point.
Yeah.
They were on point with
It's a
what
lot
they
of stuff
had.
that's out now, like little like communication devices and things, and
Yeah.
some guy walks into a backwoods cafe and sits down. There's like a fish finder right on the bar, and someone says, "Hey, are the fish biting today?" And he looks it up. He's like, "Nope, not today."
Huh.
It's basically like something that every guy who owns a bass boat has on his boat now. you know?
Right, right.
Things like that. It's pretty cool to like.
I blame
like,
Kurzweil.
Or like, yeah, definitely.
What blame? That's
I
amazing.
was just saying.
That's beautiful.
But like same thing with Back to the Future too. You know, like looking at that movie and it's like, what have we accomplished that's in that movie that's either on that level or better?
We don't have hoverboards yet. God damn it.
Or self-tying
Don't you love that though when you see
Or
a
drying
movie?
jackets.
Like I've been watching a ton of Twilight Zone, and I love when they're in a future setting and it's like 2020 call
Yeah.
it, or something like that, and everyone has hover cars and there's all this crazy stuff. I love watching that because it's like it's one of two things. They have stuff that we could never create now, and then they have stuff that we've created so much better
Yeah.
too. Like they don't have it right at all,
Right.
but it's really fun to watch.
entertaining.
They missed a lot.
Have you seen those? It's like electromagnetic like hover thing. It's not like anything. It's like basically it's like a small disc that hovers around like a track, and you can go like upside down with it and shit. And it's just like the earliest stages of like hovering technology. It's really sweet. I don't know. I wouldn't know what to tell you to look up, but I've seen it. It's like a electromagnetic, just like floating like device. I don't even know what you call it, but it's just like
I think
we're
I have
almost
seen that.
there.
I forgot about that. I think I have seen that.
Yeah, it's just like this little like metal disc that's floating on this like
Yeah, it's really bizarre. And this guy like sets a path for it,
Yeah.
and it does really bizarre stuff.
And then he like flips it upside down and it's still going.
Yeah, that's right. I saw that
you may
video
have
a
shown
long
me that.
time ago.
It must have been like a year ago or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Something like that. But it was like it's like we have this. I mean, it's there. You know, the technology is there. It also blows my mind. It's like how much technology is out there that we like don't know exists. You know, think about everything in your everyday
The
life.
military has stuff that,
Oh, yeah.
you know, 10 years from now we'll start to see the beginnings of.
Well,
but-
they had digital photography in the 70s.
Yeah.
And it's like I mean that just came out as a thing like maybe 10 years ago, like really like for consumers. So it's like yeah, it just goes to show you that like, you know, the military does all the testing and then we get it.
I mean, when you boil it down, it's really getting crazy now, and we're just getting used to the crazy that things are changing so rapidly.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, today I read online that they created these baby mice out of just stem cells.
Whoa.
And it's just like stuff like that. You read it and you're like, oh, okay. You know, it's not crazy anymore. It's not like, what was that, Dorothy the sheep or whatever?
Oh,
Yeah.
they cloned her.
Yeah, it's not like that anymore. You hear about this stuff
No,
and you're
it's
like,
like,
oh,
oh,
okay,
just-
but
they make sheep now,
it's
they make mice.
fantastic. The stuff that they're explaining is totally fantastical, but
Yeah.
it's just like, oh, okay, you know, because of the exponential growth of, you know, technology.
Yeah, it's hard to get excited, and that's one thing they talk about with the new iPhone. A lot of people are like, oh, well, it doesn't do, but it's like, what else is it gonna do? You know, it's hard to get excited
It was
about.
already perfect to begin with.
Yeah.
They only did tiny little things to like
I think
make it
that's a
slightly
good
better.
point. It was already perfect when the first one came out.
Yeah. Well, speaking of perfect, it's been a perfect show. We got to wrap it up. Stay tuned for the next show. I forget what it's called, but I'm sure it's going to be just as great as this show. I wish it was, but we're going to welcome them with open arms, with arms wide open. Mark, I want to thank you for joining us on this week's episode of Dead Air Radio.
Yeah, it's great to be here.
Tune in next week. We'll have more fun conversation.
Yeah, come back, Mark. We like having you.
Yeah, Mark.
Hopefully we'll get a fourth microphone soon. God bless you all. We love you.
Click the button.